Ever said something to a woman and instantly regretted it? You're not alone. There are 5 things you should never say to a woman, words that can damage your connection, create unnecessary conflict, and leave you wondering what went wrong. Want to know what they are? Stick around, because in the next few minutes, I'm breaking down the top 5 phrases you should avoid at all costs, and what to say instead. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Number 1, calm down or relax. Few phrases are more universally frustrating than being told to calm down or relax, especially in a moment of heightened emotion. While the intent behind these words might be to defuse a situation or provide reassurance, they often have the opposite effect. The problem lies in how these phrases are perceived. They can come off as dismissive, patronizing, or even condescending. To someone who is genuinely upset, being told to calm down suggests that their feelings are either exaggerated or unwarranted, effectively invalidating their emotional experience. When a woman is expressing her frustration, stress, or anger, telling her to calm down can imply that her emotions are out of proportion or that she is being irrational. This not only minimizes her experience but also communicates that her reaction is the problem, not the situation that caused it. Rather than providing comfort, these phrases can escalate the conflict, making her feel misunderstood or disrespected. Instead of saying, calm down, it is far more effective to acknowledge her feelings and offer support. For instance, try saying, I can see you're really upset right now. Do you want to talk about it, or I'm here to listen? What's going on? This approach not only validates her emotions but also opens the door to constructive communication. Moreover, consider the timing. If the moment is already tense, she may not be ready to discuss what's bothering her. In such cases, giving her space can be equally powerful. You might say, I'm here for you whenever you're ready to talk, which shows respect for her emotional state without downplaying her feelings. Ultimately, the goal is not to control her reaction but to create a space where she feels heard, understood, and respected. Reframing your response to focus on empathy rather than control can transform potentially volatile moments into opportunities for deeper connection and understanding. Number 2, you look tired. Telling someone they look tired might seem like a harmless observation or even a gesture of concern. However, for many women, it can feel like an unsolicited critique of their appearance. The underlying implication is that she looks worn down, unattractive, or less presentable than usual, which can be interpreted as a subtle insult. The statement also suggests that her appearance is more noteworthy than her well-being, which can be particularly frustrating if she's already feeling self-conscious. Even if your intention is to express concern, phrases like you look tired can easily come across as superficial or tactless. Instead of making assumptions about how she feels based on her appearance, consider a more empathetic approach. A better alternative would be to express concern without making it about her looks. For example, say, how are you feeling today? Or, you seem a bit off, is everything okay? This shifts the focus away from her physical appearance and toward her overall well-being, making the interaction feel more genuine and less judgmental. Additionally, if you're genuinely concerned, you might offer assistance or ask how you can help. This approach not only avoids the potential offense but also fosters a more supportive and caring environment. Ultimately, comments about appearance can be a minefield, especially when someone is feeling vulnerable or exhausted. Being mindful of how your words might be perceived can prevent unnecessary misunderstandings and help maintain a positive, respectful dynamic. Number 3, is it that time of the month? Bringing up a woman's menstrual cycle as a way to explain her emotions is one of the most dismissive and belittling things you can do. This question not only undermines her feelings but also perpetuates a harmful stereotype that a woman's emotions are inherently irrational or solely tied to her hormonal cycle. It's a form of gaslighting that invalidates her legitimate concerns by attributing them to something beyond her control, rather than addressing the actual issue at hand. When a woman is expressing frustration, anger, or sadness, asking, is it that time of the month, implies that her emotions are not genuine but rather a hormonal overreaction. This is not only offensive but also sexist, as it reduces complex feelings to a biological function while ignoring the actual cause of her distress. It effectively dismisses her perspective as irrelevant or overly emotional, which can be deeply insulting. A more respectful approach is to engage with what she is actually saying rather than making assumptions about why she is feeling that way. If she seems upset, ask open-ended questions like, "What's going on?" or "Would you like to talk about it?" This demonstrates that you are genuinely interested in understanding her experience rather than attributing it to a stereotype. Furthermore, it is important to recognize that emotional responses are human, not gendered. Everyone experiences mood swings, stress, and emotional fluctuations, regardless of hormonal cycles. Focusing on the content of her words rather than making condescending assumptions allows for more meaningful and constructive conversations. In summary, avoid making offhand remarks about a woman's menstrual cycle as a way to explain her emotions. Not only is it disrespectful, but it also undermines her credibility and minimizes her perspective. By choosing empathy and active listening over cliches and stereotypes, you create a healthier, more respectful dialogue that fosters connection rather than conflict. Number 5, you're being too sensitive. Telling a woman that she's too sensitive is another phrase that can feel deeply dismissive and invalidating. It implies that her feelings are exaggerated or unwarranted, and it often carries the hidden message that she should toughen up or stop expressing her emotions. This kind of remark minimizes her experience and can make her feel like her concerns are not worthy of serious attention. Sensitivity is a natural human trait, not a flaw or weakness. Everyone experiences emotions differently, and what may seem minor to one person can be significant to another. When you say someone is too sensitive, you risk shutting down honest communication and making her reluctant to share her feelings in the future. It creates an environment where she might feel judged or misunderstood rather than supported. Instead of labeling her sensitivity, try to understand the reasons behind her feelings. Ask questions like, "Can you tell me more about how this is affecting you?" Or "I want to understand what you're feeling." These responses show that you respect her emotions and want to connect, rather than dismiss or judge. It's also helpful to recognize the difference between being sensitive and overreacting. Sensitivity means being in tune with emotions and experiences, which is a strength in relationships. The goal is to listen with empathy and validate feelings, not to criticize or belittle. In conclusion, avoid telling a woman she's too sensitive. Instead, create a safe space where she feels comfortable expressing herself openly. By choosing empathy and active listening over judgment, you build trust and deepen your connection. Conclusion. Remember, words carry weight, especially with the women in our lives. Avoiding these 5 phrases can help build stronger, more respectful connections that stand the test of time. It's about understanding, patience, and honoring the way things have always been valued in relationships. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more timeless advice on relationships and communication. Share your thoughts below. I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.